Hello, this is Kathy Peck from Wichita Falls, Texas, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and tonight it's my first ever live Paper Pumpkin Playtime. And this is what I'm going to show you that I made today. And what's nice about this little contraption is it's like a little decor piece, but it folds up flat and it fits nicely into one of our envelopes. So you can send it to somebody, just like I plan on sending this to my daughter for her little dorm room, so she'll have a little Halloween decoration. So there you go. It sits up nice. I'm not going to show you how to make the whole thing. What I'll do is get the box going and then you can decorate it however you want. But this was so easy to do. And it's just cute as pie, really. So first, let me tell you a little bit about Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin is a kit that you can get from Stampin' Up! It's really good for like someone who wants to try out stamping or doesn't want to invest a lot and doesn't have a lot of time to spend stamping. And this kit is all-inclusive. What I mean by all-inclusive is, well, let me show you. You get the stamp set, which this is the Hello Pumpkin stamp set, and it has Happy Halloween, little pumpkin faces, a witch's hat, a pumpkin, Hello Pumpkin, trick or treat, and give thanks. And then there's usually a flyer about the next one. The next Paper Pumpkin kit is Joy to the World, and the period to sign up for this particular kit is from 11 September to 10 October. Each month is a different kit. Usually the October, November kits are really, really popular. They are Christmas oriented, so, and I really, really like them. You also get ink. You get one of these little ink spots and the coordinating color for the kit. Cajun Craze is a great color for the fall and for Halloween things. And then, wrapped up nicely in this tissue paper, you get this pack. And in here, I'll show you all the little goodies you get in here. This is, you get the directions. Cut this open. Comes nicely packaged. And the box is reusable too when you're done. So this happens to be, this one is not a card kit. This is a treat kit. And Halloween usually is some type of treat. And these are 20 little treat packages. They're like similar to little crackers. You could get what they call crackers in England, and you prepare the little container or the little box and you stuff it with candy and tie up both ends and decorate it. So this is all your adhesives that you need. It'll be, let's see, adhesive strips, dimensionals, glue dots, your strings. And then you have this, is the double-sided, pre-scored, pre-cut little package. And let's see, and you just pop these out. Pop all these out, and then you'll fold it up. So you just fold on the score lines to get it ready to go. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, it goes this way, and then this way, and well, anyway, you'll want to do this with a bone folder. Okay, and then you just glue it together, tie it up, decorate it. Boom! Look at that. You could put Hershey Kisses in here, the little miniature Hershey bars. I don't know, whatever you like. Now, as far as the decorations, they are beyond ample. There's so many. You have plenty of extras. So there's little cats, and these are all die cuts. So all you have to do is just take them out of the paper. Leaves, different colored leaves in all the fall colors. Let's see. Yeah, those are all the same. Then there's labels, white flowers, colored flowers, witch's hat, pumpkins and labels, more pumpkins and labels. And then they have these little swirly things. These are so cute right here. And there's black ones like this too, this little lacy looking stuff. So yes, there's plenty. And lots of ideas on Pinterest. I am going to be making these as is, but since there's so much material, I took the extras and making this little package right here that I showed you. So let me put this aside because I ended up with 2 kids this month. So, and I still have a kiddo in school, so I'm gonna make a nice little Halloween treat for her teachers. All right, so this little box, or not box, or home decor item, if you can see that, is, I picked it up off of Split Coast Stampers. It's called a triple cube card. All right. And this is the one in the picture. And these are all my crazy notes all over the place. So, and I am going to start right here. Let's see. With step 1, it says to score a piece of cardstock, the 8.5 by 11, on the short side at 2, 4, 6, and 8. I highly recommend you use your scoreboard with that. It just makes it you're more accurate with your scoring. And then you're gonna cut. You'll cut it at 2 strips at 2 by 8.5, and then 1 strip at 4 by 8.5, and that's on the long side. So you're gonna score this way, and you're gonna cut this way, and you're gonna end up with a piece left over. So let me show you what I've got. Put that over here. All right, we have, and I have these all marked up with pencil marks, and don't worry, they will be covered up. All right, so this is my DSP, or not my DSP, my cardstock, and there would be another piece, a little bit left over here, because this comes out to, I think, 8 inches. It just said 8 inches, so I've got them scored, I've got them cut, and I've already folded them, but what I'm going to show you next is this little tip that I learned after making this first one. I'm going to cut all the accent pieces and glue some or most of them on beforehand, because it makes it a lot easier, because I glued some on after, and oh well, there was glue everywhere. It can be crazy. So what you need to do is you're going to cut your coordinating cardstock you're going to cut 6 squares at the directions say 1 3/4. I cut mine at 1 7/8. So I have 6 squares early espresso at 1 7/8. I'm only going to show you 4 because I've already glued 2 together. Then what I added was some DSP decorations, and I cut those at 1 3/4. So I have one. I think I have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because these 2 panels, 2, I needed the DSP glued on top of the cardstock for 2 of them, so I already did that. And then I have 2 panels that are a little bit longer to put on the inside here, and they are 1 3/4 by 3. I just cut it 1 3/4 and then cut it in half. So we'll start gluing all this in and start putting the box together. And I also have these curious little strips here. These are, let's see, I cut them 1.5 inches, and then I folded them in half, and I'm going to place them here beforehand, before I glue on my DSP, because I want to cover them with the DSP. And this is going to help hold this piece right here. Let me see. See, I didn't cover them before, and you can see that. I'm going to cover them this time. This is like a lessons learned. This is what I did. Now don't do this. Do it this way. And then get my pumpkin back in place. That still needs a little perfecting, how that I got that pumpkin on there. Okay, so first I'm going to glue these on. And I prefer to use Tombow liquid glue on all my projects. I'm just like addicted to it. I can't help myself. So and I made a line here. I lined these 2 up, and I just put a line on here. So what I want to do is just kind of center this over that line, over that mark. And then when I get ready to glue the next one on, I'll set them side by side because I want them to match. Does that make sense? because that'll hold the sentiment when I get the sentiment stamped and hold the sentiment in place. So, like I said, this is my first time doing the Paper Pumpkin Playtime. I get paper pumpkins every month, and sometimes I don't do anything with them. I like to pass them on to potential customers or family members, because I have, you know, lots of nieces and nephews. Let's see, did I do that right? Let me check something here. When I glue these together, let's see, the way it's glued is I'm going to have the cloves, yes, this is correct, yes. It's going to close this way. I'm going to put the seam in the front on the floor so that when I'm looking at it straight, I don't see this, because if you turn it around this way and decorate it, you'll see this flap, and I don't want to see the flap. So now that that's in there, I can glue this flap together. Hope that makes sense. So for any of you that's seen my other videos, they're unscripted. They are, what you see is what you get. So, and hopefully I'll have this posted on my blog tomorrow. And if you're up tomorrow at 10, I'm going to go live again with my coffee and cards. It's changed from 9 to 10 because I have a training to do now at 9 o'clock every Wednesday. So I'm going to do my coffee and cards at 10, and it's going to be working with a sketch. I'm going to take a current sketch that's live on one of the sketch blogs and show you how I interpret the sketch and how easy it is to interpret the sketch and not to be intimidated by sketches, although sometimes they can be when they have a lot of frou-frou stuff on them, but it's okay. All right, so these two are ready to go. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I made a mistake. Oh, darn it. Well, here we go. This is what I can fix this right now. Before I go any further, I need to glue this DSP in here. That's what I wanted to prevent. See, things happen. Accidents happen all the time. All right, so here we go. It's easier gluing it, at least in this little box, than it is when it's all put together. Oh, that was a chore. So here we go. There, that one worked out really well. And then I have it marked again. Okay, this is the other side where the DSP is going to go. And the only reason I'm putting DSPs in here is because visually it just adds a nice touch. It does. Lately my Tombo's been, usually you have some wiggle room with Tombow glue, and lately I haven't had much wiggle room. So this one's going to be a little crooked, but that's okay. All right, and then I want to put this one right here. Because this is this part on the top here, and it's not decorated, so what I did is I added a little of the plaid tidings DSP just to give it some interest, and it just looks nicer than just a plain piece of cardstock sitting there. Alright, yes, so that's how that's going to go. This will get attached to the main part of the box. Alright, let's do this one now. Good thing I marked where I wanted to put my DSP. I just marked pencil and pencil DSP. CS for cardstock. Okay, here we go. It's nice to cover up that little flap. It kind of helps secure the flap too, to keep the sentiment in place. It is not easy to put these in the right position from this angle. So, here we go. we go. It's not bad. And then we'll put this one. And I have to, oh, I do have to add a piece of the plain cardstock onto the front because that's what I'll decorate. This little flap is giving me a hard time. Here we go. So I've always enjoyed Paper Pumpkin kits, and I highly recommend them to people who are just wanting to learn about stamping or who are hesitant because it's so easy. And then there's all kinds of videos on Pinterest, you know, or not videos, but pictures. People make alternates. They'll, you know, they've already turned this stuff into cards, and it's just awesome. There's a lot of talented people out there. All right, there we go. Put one of these on here. I'm just amazed at times at how talented folks are. Yes, here we go. Okay, now on to the big part. The big box of the triple box. I think I'm about out of this glue here. I love this Tombow though. Just can't seem to get enough of it, but the Japanese do make nice glue. I might be a little biased. I lived in Japan for 8 years, so had a lot of experience with their glue. Okay. Looks about even. I can put those little boxes on after. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this up. I really like to fold these over. Oops. There. Did everyone hear about Eddie Van Halen passing away? That was like unexpected. I didn't even know he'd been sick, but I don't keep up with things like that very much. Only thing I know is he was married to Valerie Bertinelli, and I know her because she's from Delaware, just like me. So, and Van Halen was very popular when I was in high school. Okay. That looks good. This goes together pretty quickly. I mean, like I said, you can get the basic instructions on split coat stampers, and then, you know, do like I did, modify it to suit your needs. And this one's cut a little off. Well, we won't be able to see that in a few minutes. All right, so now I'm going to attach these boxes to here. So if I remember how I did this, I think I had to do it like this. Yes, and I want these flaps on this inside corner, so they're gonna meet. Let's see. Look back at the directions real quick. This has good directions on how to put everything together. Okay, she laid it down. All right, so lay it down, glue it up. I'm gonna just pop this on here. Make sure that bottom yes, I did that. I made sure the edges met, and I stood it up to make sure the bottom is flat right here. There. I'll do the sentiment next because that can be a little tricky as well. I think, yes, I did this way. I But I did when I was working on this side, because these two edges will bump into each other and cause a problem when you're trying to glue it together. So I flattened it like this, applied the glue, and then get this on here. Oops. I hope my head didn't get in the way. I always have to get my big head in the way. Alright. So you want to push down, down. Looky there. It's ready to go. It's ready to decorate. How's that look? That wasn't bad, was it? That was pretty easy. That only took 20 minutes. So I'm going to show you how to do the sentiment, and then, you know, you can decorate this however you want. Like, I added the cat with the moon, and I colored the moon a little bit with some ink, and I made a little wreath and added the give thanks, which is trying to fall off, witch's hat and some flowers. I want to put some rhinestones on that, and then a few pumpkins, and then the big pumpkin that I connected with a little flap at the top. You can see where I tried several times until I got it right, and then so you open it up and it just stays right here, and you can, if it'll do it, move it like that. Put that little edge over. There you go. Cute as pie. Alright, so that's this is my prototype. Okay, so let me show you all these little goodies in here. So let's see, with this one, I think I want to use this Cajun Craze lace piece. Yes, that'll look nice. And the white. Put these leaves in here. I mean, there's so many little bits and pieces. I'm going to be able to do all 20 of the tree bags, and then I'm going to get some cookies. A friend of mine bakes really nice cookies, so I'm going to get a couple dozen from her and decorate those cookie packages and add that decoration to it. Alright, so we want to use the Happy Halloween stamp. Did I forget ink? I did. Well, it never fails. I always forget something, so I have ink in this Paper Pumpkin box, so we'll use it. So I was going to use Cajun Craze anyways. So here we go. When I open these little ink stamping spots, I only like to open them on one side. That way I don't lose the lid. And you just run your scissors across here at the seam, or where the top and the bottom meet, and it usually opens. But not today. Ah, there we go. Popped it open. And this is so tiny, I just like to go like this. And since this is a new stamp set and a clean stamp, I'm just going to give it a go once to see. Oh yeah, that's good. Not bad. I like to put a lot of ink on there. Okay, so I'm going to line this up and stamp it. Hold it down for a few minutes. The color transfers really well, hopefully. Well, a few seconds, not minutes. That's okay. It'll work. All right. Now, what I want to do is take my Stampin' Seal and go across the back of this. I always put too much. And then I'm going to put the label on top of the lace. Now, if you wanted the lace to stick out some more, you could just cut it in half and then push it out. But I think for me, this is plenty. Which is actually what I did with the witch's hat, because I had to... This is a little long this way, so I cut a section out of the middle and then put it together under the hat to make it fit nicely. Alright, and then I'm going to take a piece of cardstock, which is a little too big. attach it. It's too long as well, so let me trim that up. This is just to reinforce it and to give those little things something to stick to. All right. A little glue. Maybe. We might put some glue there. I think we have to go like this. I might have to use the stamp and seal. Okay, we'll use some stamp and seal because my glue is not cooperating. All right. All right, so you fold it like that. Oops. How did I do this before? I think well, you could use a third hand to get this one done. I think one of my sides is a little long, but I can cut it off. But there you go. It is secured in there. And look, it folds up nicely. And again, as long as you don't have, let's see, this is 4 by 4, so you have another inch and a half. You could put a lot of decorations on there if you wanted to. As long as you don't have too much, it'll fit nicely in the envelope. Now it is kind of bulky, so it would have to be non-machinable. But there you go, ready to be decorated. So I'll get this one done and up on my blog tomorrow. My blog is www.tandstamps.blogspot.com. Well, hello, Julie Williamson and Jill Peterson. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I never am. But this is how simple that is. So, and I try to keep these videos at like 30 minutes. So check back tomorrow on my blog, tandstamps.blogspot.com, to see how I ended up finishing, and I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Central to play with some sketches. Okie dokie. All right, ladies, you have a good evening, and I will see you all, well, hopefully tomorrow. Make it through homeschool. Alrighty, thank you. Enjoy. If you have any questions about Paper Pumpkin or want to try a Paper Pumpkin, just don't hesitate to contact me. I'm happy to share. I always have extra kits laying around, and it's really something fun to do with your kids. And like I said, it's all inclusive. It has exactly everything you need. Stamp, ink, paper, everything's pre-cut. All you need is your imagination, or you can just read the directions. Anyway, thanks. Good night.